Hi, it's Professor Monty again, and let's talk about adding and subtracting rational expressions that don't have a common denominator. Essentially, since a rational expression is a fraction, in order to add or subtract them, we need to get a common denominator. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find and build up to the least common denominator, and then we're just going to add or subtract, then reduce if appropriate. Okay, if you're having trouble getting to the least common denominator, I have another video on least common multiples and least common denominators. I'll link to the end of this video. So you may want to watch that and then come back to this, or you may want to watch it just for some extra practice. Okay, so I've got my two denominators here, two fractions I'm trying to add. We see they don't have the same denominator. They have to have the same denominator before I can add them. So I need to figure out what the LCD is. So the least common denominator is the smallest number that 2 goes into and 6 goes into, and x squared goes into and x goes into. So it has to be, don't think, oh, 2 goes into both of these. That's true, that would be the greatest common factor, but the least common denominator or least common multiple would be the 6. Both of these can go into 6, so I need the 6. Remember, I'm building up to whatever this is. And I have an x squared and an x, I need the bigger one. I'm going to need the x squared because I can build it up to that. So watch what I mean. So I've got this. To save some room, I'm just going to write right next to this. I want this to be 6x squared. Well, if I multiply top and bottom by 3, I see I'm going to get the 6x squared. I'm going to get this. This has the 6 and 1x. It needs another x, so I'm going to multiply by x over x. Remember, anytime I multiply by something over itself, that's equal to 1. It's not going to change the value. So now when I do this, I'm going to distribute these in. This just gets multiplied in. So what I'm going to get here is I'm going to get 15x plus 3. The bottom is going to be 6x squared. And then plus x squared plus 2x over again 6x squared when I multiply those in. Now I can add the numerators together, add the denominators together, and go from there. So let's see. Since I'm adding, I'm not going to put it as a single fraction. We're just going to add straight across. So in descending powers, I've got x squared, 15x plus 2x is 17x plus 3. The bottom just stays the 6x squared. Now from here, I would factor the top if possible and see if anything cancels with anything on the bottom. Nothing's going to reduce here. This is fully simplified, so I just stop. Okay, that's the idea. Let's try another one over here. We'll draw a line there to separate these. Now, the denominators look kind of ugly. These are already factors because everything was multiplied together, so I'm going to factor these first to help me find the LCD. So let's see. So I've got a 5 here. I can factor out a 4. I get x minus 3. Now, notice with this subtraction, one thing I like to do, you may have seen in my earlier video, I'm going to change subtraction to addition of the opposite and change both of those signs. So now I really don't have to worry about missing this sign. It's going to be up here already. So I'm going to make that a plus negative x minus 1. And then down here I'll factor that's x plus 3, x minus 3. Now off to the side we can see what the LCD is. I like to play the need it, got it game. So I need a 4, I need an x minus 3. I also need an x plus 3. X minus 3, do I need it? No, I already have it. So I already got that. So I don't need another one. I can build both of these up to that. And so to do that, what I'm going to do, this one's just missing the x plus 3. So I'm going to put an x plus 3 up here. I don't have to physically multiply that up. That's my LCD. And this one's just missing the 4. So I'm going to multiply by 4 over 4. So here I'm going to distribute this in. Here I'm going to distribute this in. The denominators is the same. I'm just going to keep them. So I get 5x plus 15. Since I already have this as a plus, and I've already changed the signs, I can write this all as one fraction at this point if I want to. Minus 4x minus 4. All over, and the denominator is 4 times x plus 3x minus 3. I'm not going to multiply that out because I want it factored so if it reduces later. And I'm going to end up just leaving it factored. If it doesn't reduce, there's no reason to have to factor it out, unless, of course, your teacher asks you to. So let's see, on top I have 5x minus 4x, which is x. And I have 15 minus 4, which is 11. And I see that's not going to cancel with any of these, so I just have that. Let's just put it down here as my answer. X plus 11. The denominator stays x plus 3x minus 3. That's my answer. If this had factored, or if this had come to an x plus 3 and x minus 3, or 4 times something, I would be able to reduce. In this case, I cannot. I'm going to erase this so I don't confuse anybody. But that's the idea. Get your common denominator and then add or subtract. I like to do this trick with changing subtraction to addition to the opposite. Maybe that'll help you as well. I know my students tend to like it, so that's why I like to show it in the video. All right, hope this helps. Practice, it's kind of a confusing thing to do. It's one of the harder things in this chapter, but with enough practice, you're going to feel more and more comfortable, and you're going to get the right answer on the tests. And just remember, practice, figure it out, and you'll learn how to do it.